about 7:15 in the morning, about to get the cows across the road, sprint ahead. Quite quiet now after the half-term holidays. Easter holidays are gone, so there's not a lot going on. Look at this, see that road's pretty dead that way. Pretty quiet that way. I find about 5:30 in the morning, like when we go into the autumn and milk takes a bit quicker, but they're still going across the road. 5:30, 6 o'clock, 6:30, 7 o'clock. Those sort of times when it's busy, that's when people are on the roads, like lorries and whatnot. So I'm just waiting for these cows here bunch up a bit tighter and go for it, because we will hold up a bit of traffic because it's all cows in the and they're walking relatively slow. So I'm going to turn the flashlight on that bad boy in a minute. I've got my fresh jacket on. We're going to go for it. All through the Easter holidays, when it was really busy, I'd get the wife to do it, just in case. Nah, I'm only joking, I do it myself. Well, sometimes she does do it actually. But at the moment, she's in the parlour, Tim's in the parlour doing the milking. They're just pushing the last side out. They're going to get all these across, and then one of them will follow them out. Right, so it's dead. We're going to get on. Now, here's a car here. Car coming. That's what I've got to watch, see. This car's coming out really fast. We drive flat out along this road. I like the lorries. The lorries will stop for me. The lorries will see me because they know how it goes. But cars, you know, the old car driver, you don't know what's going on. Right, so let's give it a go. Right, they're on the move. I just ran over now. There's a light. Got flashing well. Not very often do we get a car like not see us, but now and again you do once or twice a year. I see cars in the distance coming, so I'll hold a few out. There's a lorry up there, I see coming already. Still feeding calves a lot of milk too. I'm just waiting to get out. We're just chasing through the last bit of milk. So we've got a few cows on dump bucket and whatnot, but then the milk in the pipeline, because we've got a long pipeline on this tank. It goes a long way all the way back to the parlour, what's over there. So that's a good, probably 150 litres in that pipe, and then we chase it through into this tank, and I've got a few calves. Really tired this morning, I am. I've been helping down on the autumn unit yesterday. We had a gamma test, TB test, gamma test, and we also had their skin test too, so it took a real long time. It was like 9 in the morning and bloody 7 o'clock last night. Right old job it was, but what is done now is we just got to do skin test on Thursday, second run through. So we'll see how it goes. Not keeping our hopes up too high, because the stories we heard, people sending on a lot of cows. So that was 308 cows down there, milking cows, all we tested. And we had the dry cows on top, so about 420, 430, I think, something like that. So we're going to send on a few cows, I reckon. So we're just sort of bracing ourselves for that. So, but it is, you know, it's one of those things you can't worry about. It's just one of those things you've got to do. So we'll see how we get on. One good thing though, now the dry weather has sort of come, it's still a bit shit. The milk on these spring calving cows is pushed right up. But like I said in the other videos, you've got to keep that mag going into the cows, because the cows don't store mag. So the minute we stop doing it, they'll probably get grass daggers, because they're going out on longer grass than usual. So we've got to really watch that. Got a piece of barley ready nice and early this morning. That's going in today. That is going in a home field there, and also the other side of the road over there. So real local fields. I had some fields sorted all winter what we're going to put a piece in barley, but we haven't done any of them. We purely done these fields because they're absolutely loaded with dogs. And because we're organic here, we can't spray. So that tractor's ready to go. The contractor come in and calibrate and probably load himself out, all the seeds in the shed ready to go. Probably, I don't know, we might drill the grass or I might chuck on with bob bite, undecided yet. Got plenty of moisture out in the field, so it should go and might chuck it on top of the ground. But I see what sort of work we've got. Knocking back on the cow cake too now. Now it's drier and we've got more grass about it, and they can graze day and night. So that saves us a bit. So that is bloody expensive. Talking £600 a tonne, and the milk price has not gone up at all. Well, it's gone down a lot. Like the milk price has dropped right off, like 11 pence a litre. It's absolutely shocking. So we want to cut back on that. Right, that is the parlour I'm washing out, and now I've put all the milk in there in with a calf feeder. I just come on down to the calves. Here's all the calves. Most of them are heifers now. We've been thinning the bull calves out because we are TV free on this farm now. What is great. It's been quite hard calving. I hate being shut down with TV free calving. So it means you've got to just rear every calf, because this is the like harder scheme. So every calf has got to be reared to a minimum of 8 weeks, unless you get someone to buy them under 8 weeks old and they sign an agreement saying they're going to rear on. Well, sometimes they do, but they don't when you shut down with TV. And a poor calf market at the moment is an absolute nightmare. So we've had to rear everything, and we've had good calf health too. The mortality is practically nothing. So what's good, but it just means we've had a hell of a lot of calves. Now we've got a majority of these are heifers now, there is the odd bull. We're going to start thinning out the odd heifer too, what we don't want, like that heifer to thin there. On the majority of this one here, see, the majority of them we want black and white, and we've got plenty of good black and white. So, good. They're going to go in the yard or ring now with TV free, but that means they're going to make nothing because the calf market's still as hell. What's a shame. I tried advertising them everywhere, but no one wants nothing to do with it. So it is what it is, but they are, whoever buys them, they are really fit and healthy, and they're going to do extremely well. So we're going to have a lot of heifers, a lot of replacements, what's good, because you cannot have too many heifers for us. We just want loads and loads and loads and loads. There we go, look at that. Just going to feed them now, and then shut cows in, and then we're done up here. And then I probably will not come back up on this farm today. I'll probably stay home. Tim has sorted the peas and barley out, that's all sorted. Toby will probably come up and roll it at some point, and then I'll probably stay back down home and do some calves and sort out there. Nothing is out down there, it is all just too wet, so we're going to have to hold off for a bit and wait. Today I am fencing, so that was a couple of days ago that, and what I said about it being horrendously wet down on the wet farm, or the all year round calving farm in the autumn unit. It was, but it doesn't have to turn around this time of year. It goes from really wet to not too bad to it's actually like ready to get some animals out, and that's where we're to today. So I'm up in the field at the moment, just checking out, seeing what the ground's like, and like, yeah, it is soft, but there's plenty of grass about this year, and it is it's pitching off extremely fast. So I'm in a fair old field there, with a truck up on a hill there. All this along there, we had an electric fence because the fencing wasn't great, and we've just got a grant to fence it. So what I'm doing is I've got electric wire in my pocket here, and I've got a reel there. I've picked all the stakes up with the quad bike earlier, and I was saying earlier yesterday afternoon, and the fencing contractor is going to fence all the way along here, and then we're sorted. Then we've got a few places like that all over the place on like all the farms, so it just takes a long time to do though. All this grant job, it's got paperwork and whatnot, but when it's done it's great. So yeah, I got the wire. We're going to start working animals out down here, young stock. We're going to get the ones what, you know, the little strong ones first, start sorting them out, and then just go slowly like that. We might get a bit excited and kick quite a few out, or we might let the first lot out and think that'd do. But it's one of those years. We've been used to the last couple of years of it being pretty good, just kicking everything out, shutting the gate, job done, see the rest of the summer out. But this year is back to pretty much normality when it's a little bit harder to get your animals out. It's a lot colder and we've had a colossal amount of rain, but we're gonna looks like we're gonna have a good cut of grass. We'll see how it goes. It could be anything, maybe a bit free, but we'll see what's like. Right, it's April the 19th and we're just drilling a piece of barley. There's a tractor over there getting it ready to go. I just put some mag in. So this is what I got up on the spring unit, a dosatron. Dosatron is linked up to our mains water supply. So this is our mains water supply, what we've got on the edge of the farm. Or we had to dig up at the hedge, and then we've got this pipe going through it. So everything what goes from the mains tap to all the water troughs up through the farm, up through there, where the cows go, and we've got about 30 water troughs where the cows go. This dosatron feeds it, so, and it drags water from this IBC, what's mixed with these mag flakes here, and it takes it to all the water troughs. Now we do this because the whole farm lacks in mag, and we get a massive problem with grass staggers, and this year is exceptionally bad. Milk fever and staggers on this farm is really bad this year. We've had one die so far. He just collapsed in the yard before we come in for milking. They show no signs of, well, they do show signs of it, but it's hard to spot them, especially when in a group of cows. So we, this one what died, he come in the yard with the milking cows, across the road, come in the yard, and he was one of the last to come to the parlour, and then we milked him, he walked on out. It's a little bit kicky, but I wouldn't say it's horrendous, so we didn't spot it, and he walked out in the yard and then he collapsed. So I got a bolt on the vein, but it's too late, he killed over. So we got, so other years we've had loads. We've had like, you know, like we've had like 8 in the night and stuff like that. It's crazy, but as long as we do this, it's all alright. So this IBC 1,000 litres, and I put 1 bag in and probably do 1 bag a day. It's a lot better half in the night with the cows drinking, and that'll keep the mag going. Right, so he's drilled a piece of barley, and now he's going to go over with the grass seed, and then I'm going to roll it tomorrow. So that's a big old field, that's a 35 acre field there, what we're doing. So, and then we've got another field the other side of the road. Peas and barley, that's what we've been putting in. We're going to undersow it with organic grass seed. So it works quite well, because if the peas and barley don't grow too well, you get grass seed underneath, because sometimes you do graze it too. Last year we didn't actually cut any peas and barley, we grazed the whole lot, because we got short on grass. But I think this year we've got the moisture there, so it's going to get off a good start, and we've had a lot more muck, because we've spread a lot more straw in deep litter sheds, because it's been wet. So we should have a goodish, well, fingers crossed, goodish year. Had a bit of a race against time with this calf and this cow. Their leg was bent round on her, so I've had a bit of that lately. But now I've got the ropes on, I've got the legs out. I thought I had 1 back leg and 1 front leg, but I am there now. She's coming right to her. I started to get a bit of a sweat on halfway through, because I thought, oh shit, he ain't coming. But I got, yeah, he's going to come now. He's a good cow too, this one. I'm going to give her a bottle in a minute, because we've got the meal fevers back, this one. This one's quite an oldish cow. He's about 7-year-old, I think. Take it steady with her, because we've come this far with calving the cows. We're nearly there now. So, and we've had a good run. Yeah, here we go. He's coming. That's it. Come on, my girl. What a small calf. Oh, go. The bloody 8 away would help. Oh my god, camera one. There we go. See what we got. Calves alive. What a heifer calf. Good one. Yeah, there we go. Quite an oldish cow there. Yeah, 325. That's quite an oldish cow. About 7 or 8 year old. But a smart cow. That's great, that is. All year round calving young stock out now. So this is really wet ground. Dairies up there, young stock buildings there. This is down the tracks. What we got grass everywhere, really wet. The muck done really well. We haven't put no fert on any of this grazing ground. It's just all slurry from what we spread in February. We've got a lot of these little calves out, like weaned off calves. Got a lot of weaned off calves at the moment. So, and they look really good. They've done really well this winter. So, because we've had dry, because we had a dry summer, we've had a lot of dry, like rain bells, dry hay and whatnot, and they've done well on it. So, looking good. And we've got this quad bike, what we shoot about and what we sort them out with. We've got 2 quad bikes in total, one on this farm, one on the autumn block, and then we've got a Gator, well, a Blarth Ranger on the spring unit. we're just getting some more cattle out. Yesterday we were taking cattle out slow and steady throughout the day, small groups. Now we're just doing the dry cows. Toby's on the front with the quad, he's just running the back of my truck for some reason. He's getting a bit of wormer, that's what he's doing. He's found one with worms. So we're getting the dry cows up on some dry game we've got. This is all down on the all year round calving unit. Tom's got the cows up on the autumn unit, they're out today. The cows are out day and night on the spring calving unit. Everything's out now out there because it's just a lot drier ground. And then down here, the milking cows are still in day and night, but it might be a day or two before they go out. But next week's looking wet, and the cows are milking well down here, so we might take it a bit steadier. But now we've got all the young stock out down here, bar about 20, and then these dry cows are going out, and we're going to put these on like a bit of a hill field, and we've got a nice holding pen there in case any cows calve. So, because as we've got them out, it turns out it looked like we didn't have many calves, but we got quite a lot. Josh on the truck there, Toby on the quad there, Dad's out front calling them. I've left my truck so I do a bit of running. And we're just on the last bit. They're going around the drone quite a long way, going around the track and then into this far field here. Bit of dry ground for him because these are quite biggish animals, big feet. So we don't want to tread it too much because all this here is all still quite wet. It's grazing for the milkers too. We are blessed with grass this year, so we're going to make the most of it. New tanker turned out today, 3,000 gallon, dribble bar, lazy arm. Help out with the first cut. Just got the mower on, we're going to do a few rain bells. Cut a few rain bells, some long stuff what we've got, and then we can take some muck out then. Get a bit of muck out, because all that rain's filled the lagoon up. Got a few cows still in, well quite a lot actually. Tractor there, just fed these some hay. We're halfway through TB testing on these, so tomorrow we're TB testing them, that's why they got to stay in. And over here, we are cutting grass. So this is the first bit we moved this year, and we're going to put this in a clamp, and we might put maize behind it, or we might not. We're just going to see how it goes. Still early days for us on maize. Usually waiting for May bank holiday, round about then, or later, it doesn't really matter. The last week of May is usually quite well, it usually does quite well for us. There we go, it's Dad on the tractor, the new tractor, the 175, the red one. Still got a loader on because we're proper terrace farmers. Here we go, actual ground conditions, pretty good to be fair. But, soft, tractor not sinking in at all though, look at that. And no fertiliser at all, but we took plenty of muck up here during the winter because this is a bit of dry ground near the all year round calving unit when it's too wet in the winter to get muck out. This is done well though. This is after maize stuff in the autumn. It's grew well. Yeah, that not making no imprint at all, but there is plenty of dough in there and you stick finger in it. Getting the cows across the road today. Georgette lorry in the background now, taking a lot of Georgette out of the road. Right, us just got across the road. As soon as I get those last few across, you've got to push them hard because the cars start moving straight away. There we are, about the parlour. What we'll do now is we're going to fire up. I'll get tin milk in, and I've got a few jobs to do. But we've got a few extra this year. So we leave them on the track, start milking, milk about 4 sides, so 4 sides 24, that's 90 odd. And then they're all funnel in then. We used to be able to fit them all in the yard when we were about 250. But now it's about 330 here. It's a bit harder. And they're full up with grass today too, so it's a nightmare trying to push them along. This is where the spring calving farm really comes into its own now. The cows are all calved in pretty much. We've literally got like 1 or 2 left. So we're not too worried like if they're going to drag on or not. They are bagging up, so in next week or 2 we should see them wrapping things up. We're going to serve a little bit later, so we're going to aim the calf 1st of March instead of 1st of Feb. So I think that's going to help us out seasonality wise. And milk going into the summer, you get more milk like June, July, August onwards, it'll be a lot better. A lot drier up here, cows out day and night, cows flowing through the pod are absolute dream now. And we've got a nice bit of grass space, so we couldn't be happier. Hopefully we don't get too much torrential rain, and we're using a lot less cake too, what helps out. Tractor and rollers here because we've been rolling in the piece of barley, what is down there and across the road, so real local fields. That's 35 acres we did. We ploughed, power-harrowed and drilled a piece of barley, and then we undersowed it with grass seed, well we put grass seed over the top. So it's going to have a crop of grass on there. So we could graze it, but we'll probably cut it this year because it's looking like there's just more moisture in the grass and whatnot. You know, it could go either way, it could dry out quick. But hopefully we have a good, nice bit of piece of barley in the plant this year. We've got another 20 acres to do, but we're still grazing that field off, so we're going to do that. One good thing is, yeah, like I said, we can graze it if we get short of grass. And they don't really touch the barley, so you can always cut the barley after. But once we've, if we go out there and pop it, we'll have to cut the grass afterwards. Cut grass, grazing grass afterwards for the cows will scrape. So Tim's been on doing that with our fold out rollers there, so that's been spot on. Then hopefully we'll be able to move next week onwards on the wetter ground down and back up the all year round down here at what we brought home. Put a load of barley in down there. Time's getting on a little bit, but I remember it was the 5th of May we done it one year and we had a great crop, so we'll see how that goes.